We're pulling out the key stuff from Herbert's novel, focusing on what you really need to grasp about this new, dangerous environment.
What strikes me is how tense it is from page 1. There's no gentle lead-in. It's straight into danger, hidden threats.
Right. And our mission here is to sort of guide you through these opening chapters, give you a solid handle on the challenges, the big players, without, getting bogged down in every single detail.
Think of it like the opening moves in a really high-stakes chess game.
Exactly. Understanding the setup.
So we're giving you the fast track, basically. Key characters, this horrifying test Paul goes through, the political games, it all starts here. So where do we kick off this exploration?
I think a good place to start is the contrast. Herbert draws this really stark line between Caladan, their homeworld.
Water world, right.
Totally. Oceans, greenery, and then, bam, Arrakis.
Yeah.
Dune. It's brutal, arid, relentless.
Almost the complete opposite.
It is. But what's interesting is Paul. He already feels this connection. Like Arrakis is where he's supposed to be, historically speaking, even before they land.
That adds a whole other layer, doesn't it? It's not just moving house.
Not at all. And the arrival itself, it's filled with unease. You feel the heat, the sense that something huge is about to happen.
Yeah, the atmosphere Herbert creates is incredible, almost like the planet itself is watching them.
And then, even before they leave Caladan, you have that visit from the Reverend Mother Gaius Helen Mohiam.
Oh, her. Yeah. Unsettling is putting it mildly.
Definitely. The description alone, a oak ghost of a witch.
With those gleaming opal eyes. Gives me the shivers just thinking about it.
Right. It immediately flags her as someone powerful, maybe dangerous. And the way she treats Lady Jessica just hammers that home.
Wow, yeah. Jessica is Bene Gesserit herself. She's the dupe's concubine, Paul's mother. But Mohiam is just so dismissive.
Calls her Jessica. So casually. It's a power play.
And then Mohiam drops the bomb. She's furious, basically, that Jessica had a son, Paul, instead of the daughter the Bene Gesserit ordered her to have.
Bingo. And that tells you, right there, the Bene Gesserit have their own agenda. A massive long-term plan that overrides everything else, even the great houses.
Their breeding program, it's central to everything they do.
It really is. And Jessica deviating from that plan, well, that directly leads to Paul facing the Gum Jabbar.
Okay, the Gum Jabbar. Let's unpack that. The name itself sounds awful. What's the point of this test?
Mohiam lays it out pretty clearly.
Yeah.
It's to see if Paul is human.
Human in their specific sense, right?
Exactly. Can he use reason and will to overcome primal instinct, even unbearable pain? They they sift people to find humans. It's about control, self-control.
Not about strength or smarts, but pure will.
Precisely. And the test itself, it's brutal.
The box.
He puts his hand in the box, feels unimaginable pain, purely nerve-based.
And the Gum Jabbar, the needle with the poison, right at his neck.
Keep your hand in or die. Instantly. The stakes are absolute.
And Paul? He endures it, pain like nothing Mohiam has seen before, apparently.
Yeah, she's genuinely surprised. Admits no Bene Gesserit acolyte has taken that much.
Which is incredible.
It is. And she has this moment, this chilling thought. Obachuk, I must have wanted you to fail.
Wow. That hints at maybe their plans aren't entirely straightforward. Or maybe she has doubts.
It definitely adds complexity. And the pain itself, Joskea. Pain arises directly in the nerves. No mark left. Shows how advanced they are.
Even going through that, Paul tries to fight back. Threatens to call the servants.
He does. Shows his spirit. But Mohiam immediately counters with a threat to Jessica. Power dynamics right there.
And Jessica's just outside, terrified, pleading silently for him to pass. For her sake, the pressure is immense.
Absolutely. It's physical, mental, emotional torment, all wrapped up in this one test.
So he passes. He is human, by their definition. What does this tell us about the Bene Gesserit beyond this test?
It opens a window into their whole philosophy, their methods, this long-term genetic program.
The breeding records they keep. Meticulous.
Extremely. Tracking bloodlines across centuries. But there's also secrecy, right? About parentage, maybe even Jessica.
What is a secrecy?
They mention fixing dominant traits, sometimes through breeding close relatives. It's calculated, eugenic, really.
Okay, yeah. Bit unsettling. And this connects to the Undonas, the spice essence. The elixir.
Right, the water of life, effectively.
Yeah.
Used by the Reverend Mothers, the Sayadina, lets them detect lies.
And access ancestral memories.
But, and this is crucial, only female ancestral memories. Their knowledge has this huge gap. The male side is closed off to them.
Until the Kwisatz Haderach. We keep hearing that term.
That's the goal, the whole point of the breeding program. A male Bene Gesserit who can take the elixir, survive it, and bridge that gap. Access both male and female ancestral memories.
It's all a jokey. So, like, you come here, Lester. One who can be in many places at once. Sounds almost godlike.
It implies immense power, awareness, but the path to becoming one? Lethal. Every man who tried before died.
And Mahaim is looking for him. She sees Paul fresh from the Gom Jabbar and admits he could be it. A possibility.
Just a possibility, but a significant one, and then Paul has that dream.
The cave, the water, the girl with blue eyes.
And parts of it start coming true almost immediately. It's a big hint, isn't it? Potential prescience.
So Paul's survival, the dream, it all points to him being maybe more than just a duke's son.
Much more. He might be the culmination of their ancient plan. Or something else entirely.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit, because while all this is happening, there's another major power-moving pieces on the board. House Harkonnen.
Ah, the villains of the piece. Or at least the initial villains. Baron Vladimir Harkonnen.
And his mentat, Peter de Vries, who's just creepy.
Twisted is the word. And Feyd-Rautha, the Baron's nephew and heir apparent. Ruthless.
We first meet them looking at a globe of Arrakis, right?
Yeah, and the Baron's comment about Husho, not a speck of blue, tells you everything about his perspective. He sees this barrenness, its harshness, and he appreciates it in his own dark way.
He loves the cruelty of it almost.
It suits him, and it's the perfect place for his trap.
Because the whole move to Arrakis for the Atreides, taking over the spice production from the Harkonnens, it's orchestrated by the Emperor, but the Baron is using it.
Absolutely, it's a setup. Peter de Vries even gloats about how luxurious the plan is. They're relishing the deception.
And a crucial part of that deception is Dr. Ye, the Atreides' own doctor.
Mm-hmm. Supposedly loyal, Suk school conditioned, impossible to betray. But he's compromised.
The Baron is counting on him. Iwachada, unluched Husnul. Soon Dr. Yu appears, and it's the end for the Atreides. Chilling.
And the Baron wants Leto to know it was him. A message to all the other great houses. Fear us.
It's not just the Harkonnens, though. The Emperor is lending his Sardaukar.
His elite, fanatical soldiers. Disguised in Harkonnen uniforms. That's the really explosive part.
Because if the Landsraad, the Council of Houses, found out the Emperor used his own troops against another great house.
It could mean civil war. Total chaos. So the secrecy is paramount. For the Baron and for the Emperor.
And underlying all this is the money, the spice.
Yeah, Choan, the Combine-haunted Oberadvancer Mercantile. It's basically the economic engine of the Imperium. The Harkonnens have been making a fortune off Arrakis.
Ekosolana Farapatok every 330 days. Staggering wealth.
And Duke Leto plans to mess with that. By openly banking the profits in the Emperor's name, he's highlighting the Harkonnen skimming. It's a direct economic attack.
But for all their planning, the Baron makes a huge miscalculation, doesn't he?
He does. He completely dismisses the Fremen.
Calls them, oh, Wichita, a few gangs of rabble.
Massive underestimation. He has no idea who he's dealing with, the power they hold in the desert. Classic arrogance.
And that arrogance could be fatal.
Often is. Especially on Dune.
So the external threat is huge, but there are also cracks appearing within House Atreides. Seeds of doubt.
Yeah, the pressure is immense. Paul talks to Thufir Hawat, his father's master of assassins and mentat.
Hawat is worried about the Reverend Mother's visit. He senses something's wrong. The old witch frightened him. Why?
Hawat's sharp. He knows things aren't right. He also knows the Fremen are way more numerous and way more dangerous to the Harkonnens than the official reports say.
That's vital intel.
Crucial. And then there's the Hunter-Seeker attack on Paul.
Right in his own room, shows the danger is already inside their walls.
It's exactly. Assassination attempts are almost commonplace at this level, but it's a stark reminder.
And then shout out Mapes, the Fremen housekeeper who arrives. She drops another bombshell.
The big one. Torjan Tiziroja. We know there's a traitor among you.
Coming from a Fremen who seemed to know everything about Arrakis. It's terrifying. Suddenly everyone's suspect.
It ratchets up the paranoia instantly.
Yeah.
And Jessica gets that coded warning, too. Danger waits on this path.
So many warnings. Yet Duke Leto pushes forward.
He feels he has to. For Paul, for their future. He knows it's a trap, but he thinks knowing is half the battle. If
you know where the trap is, that's the first step to avoid falling into it. Hopeful, maybe.
Or pragmatic. And he plays his own game, too, letting the Harkonnens think he suspects Jessica.
Even though he trusts her completely, it's a clever misdirection.
A necessary gamble, perhaps?
Yeah.
It shows Leto isn't just walking into this blindly. He's a strategist, too.
Okay, so they've arrived. Political traps, internal threats. Now they face Arrakis itself, the first encounters.
And the contrast hits them immediately. Jessica? Yeah?
Hmm.
They both basically say, what a hole, compared to Caladan.
Up a real desert, it's alien.
And the people look alien, too, in a way. The Fremen, with those solid blue eyes, no white visible.
The eyes of Ibad. From the spice.
That's right. And Jessica's meeting with Mapes is huge. Mapes tests her, then gives her the Chris knife.
The sacred knife, made from a sandworm tooth. With that warning.
Anyone who sees it and isn't purified can't leave Arrakis alive. Intense.
It feels very ritualistic, very tied to the planet, and maybe tied to the Bene Gesserit's groundwork, the Missionaria Protectiva.
Very likely. Planting legends to protect their own should the need arise. Smart long-term planning.
The Atreides also have to learn about the practicalities, water discipline, the storms, the worms.
Everything is different. Everything is dangerous. And then they meet Liet Kynes.
The Imperial Planetologist, sort of the Emperor's man on Arrakis, but also something more.
Much more, as we learn. But initially, he's assessing the new Duke, and Paul makes a big impression.
He quotes the Orange Catholic Bible.
And it resonates, with Kynes and with the Fremen watching. Someone murmurs, Listinia.
The voice from the outer world, the Messiah figure from their prophecies.
Yeah. Paul just steps into their mythology almost accidentally. Or perhaps not accidentally at all.
Then Kynes shows them the still suits.
Essential survival gear. Reclaims almost all body moisture.
And Paul instinctively knows how to wear it correctly, adjusting the boots without being told.
Right. Kynes asks him who told him, and Paul just says, and you? I think it's right. It just felt right.
Which triggers another prophecy in Kynes' mind. Set your face. Shekel face. Shefai. He will know your ways as if born to them.
The signs are piling up, aren't they? Paul seems almost native already.
And then, the climax of these first encounters, seeing a sandworm. And a spice harvester.
The scale of it all. The harvester is enormous, but the worm dwarfs it. Makes it look like a toy.
And the danger is palpable. This is what they're up against. This is Arrakis.
It's an unforgettable image. And a brutal welcome to their new home, or their new battlefield.
So, wrapping this section up for you, the learner. We've covered a lot of ground, these treacherous first steps on Arrakis.
We've seen the Bene Gesserit, their plans, their test for Paul, the prophecies swirling around him.
We've delved into the Harkonnen schemes, the Emperor's involvement, the betrayal simmering just beneath the surface.
And we've had those first glimpses of Arrakis itself. The harsh environment, the Fremen, the sandworms, the spice, all these threads starting to weave together.
What really stands out, I think, is Paul. Surviving the Gom Jabbar, the way he connects with Fremen prophecy, his feel for the still suit. It points somewhere bigger, doesn't it?
It really does. It pushes beyond him just being the next Duke. The question hangs there. Is he the Kwisatz Haderach? Is this the start of something the Bene Gesserit have waited millennia for?
But can he even survive long enough for that question to be answered? With a traitor in the house, the Harkonnens closing in.
And the planet itself being so deadly. Yeah, the odds look pretty stacked against House Atreides right now. Can they actually make a go of it on Dune?
It seems almost impossible.
And these chapters, they're just the beginning, really.
Yeah.
The setup for this huge, sprawling epic.
Absolutely. So we definitely encourage you, the learner, keep reading, keep exploring Dune. There are so many more layers to uncover, so many answers waiting in those pages.
So journey's only just begun.